Hi, I'm Warren Sprouse. I'm the host of the Bible Forum. We meet every Sunday night from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern, and we do that right here on thebibleforum.net. There is a video screen in the bottom right-hand corner, and you get to watch. And if you can't make it from 8 to 10, it doesn't matter because the shows are rebroadcast throughout the week in the screen at the bottom right-hand corner. They also are posted on sermonaudio.com. They're also on our YouTube page. All kinds of things that you can tap into and get involved. I want to talk to you today about our cash. Cash is on its way out, and it's on its way out sooner than later. In the book of Revelation, it talks about a society that is controlling the cash. And I beheld another beast, a dangerous animal, a being, coming out of the earth, which had two horns like a lamb, spake as a dragon, diabolically fascinating, deceitful methodology, and did great works, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed, and causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is the wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. A lot of books, a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, a lot of preaching about 666. This is the passage that most Americans know something about, even if they can't tell you where it is. It's about end times scenarios, how the end times will impact our economy with a truly diabolical scheme to make sure that the devil has control over every human being on the planet. To date, all of this is in a far distant discussion. A future time, a time when most of us won't be here, and therefore it doesn't affect us a great deal, except in terms of understanding, intellect, knowing. We'll think again. Larry Edelson, touted as, quote, one of the foremost experts on gold and precious metals, and the editor of a publication called Real Wealth Report, and also Gold and Silver Trader, is predicting, quote, a severe and painful financial crisis. He characterizes this as the worst in world history. Now, that's not especially significant. This happens all the time. People tell you stuff like this. But in the May 27 edition of Money and Markets, he says that this will happen on October 7, 2015. Is that in the middle of a blood moon? Oh, another discussion. His reasons are published in his new report entitled The Black October, The Final Reckoning. And of course, you have to purchase this report if you want to know how this is all going to work out. Marketing aside, Edelson points to major banks that are now charging their customers interest for keeping money in those banks. It has already turned. If your deposits are over $250,000, you pay the bank for the privilege of keeping it there. He points to the United States and to Europe moving to abolish cash, the proliferation of online transactions worldwide, the International Monetary Fund pushing for something called special drawing rights. They've been doing this for decades. to replace hard currency, which means a new global reserve currency. Right now, it's the dollar that is moving off, and Russia, China, Argentina, India, there's a 5 nations that are putting together an issue trying to get it to go to them instead of BRIC. They call it BRICK or BRIC. Anyway, special drawing rights, International Monetary Fund, new global reserve currency, and a virtual plethora of nations either currently implement or are planning to ban at least some cash transactions. We've read about the convenience store here in North Carolina. The owner woke up one morning to the fact that the government had seized his bank account, and the reports are anywhere from $107,000 to $115,000, and they took his money without asking or notifying, simply because of the numerous cash deposits. The computer noted that there were a lot of cash deposits, presumably just under the $10,000 limit. You see, the computer looks at these, and it has been programmed to assume that if there is this kind of cash depositing going on, there's illegal activity going on, and there's only one way to really get your attention, that's take your money. Now the victim has to get an attorney and fight back in order to prove that he's not guilty of anything. You didn't think that would happen in this country? Louisiana recently passed a law that bans cash transactions for secondhand merchandise. Can you say yard sale, flea market? Conventional wisdom says the time will come when the masses will rise up and just throw the bums out. But I wouldn't count on that. Today, especially in the Western world, we've all been so conditioned to life under the current financial philosophy that we have no idea, really, how it works, and we're not willing to step up and do anything that will damage our possibles. We have several generations of young people who have no clue as to economic theory nor constitutional law. Our country today is sort of mob mentality that's moving from one event or another, especially where social issues or economics are concerned. The Bible is referencing a future time when Satan will actually be indwelling, empowering a Western world leader. A Western world leader who has come on the scene with 10 international, Bible calls them kings, but they are dominant souls to back him up. He has come on the scene to save Israel, who is under tremendous attack from her neighbors. He doesn't do too well. It just creates more havoc and more problems, in part because God steps in and is dealing with this. But this Western leader, who is called initially the man of sin, comes in on a white horse, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. First one's white. He's a fake Jesus. But he's the man of sin. At some point, the Bible indicates that he has a wound, a head wound, that appears to have killed him. But he's alive. He is now energized, indwelt by Lucifer himself. And this is the one that the false prophet is getting everybody to worship. And if you do not worship him, you die. And you indicate your worship by taking the number of his name, 666. You don't have it, you don't eat, and neither do your children. Anyway, this is something we look forward to down the road. It's part of our mythology in some cases. It's part of our eschatology. We believe it, Christians do, but we just don't believe it's going to happen to us. Generations have often wondered how all that was going to work out. We don't have to wonder anymore. In fact, not only do we understand it, we are joyfully embracing the technical systems that will facilitate this event. I'm old enough to remember when the banks sent out statements. They mailed you a statement every 90 days, whether you needed it or not. Now they send them out every 30 days. I just get mine online. I don't know about you, and I never look at it because I check my bank account several times a week. Anytime a bill comes in, anytime an expenditure goes out, I check my bank account to see where it is and what's going on. I don't need a bank statement. I will if I need to send one to somebody, I suppose. It wasn't that long ago when banks stopped sending us our canceled checks back. More recently, they stopped sending those checks to other banks. We don't have to wait for that check to go across country and clear, or go in through even an electronic gizmo and clear. Everything is just happening in the cloud. In fact, where business accounts are concerned, you have to pay if you want to see the digital version of your check. And that's online in your own office. Your bank wants you to bank online. They want you to pay online. Your insurance company wants you to pay online. Your credit card company wants you to pay online. Companies want to collect money online. PayPal and other kinds of systems allow your credit card to be used with your phone. I have a little gizmo I can plug right into the earpiece on my phone and take your credit card. I can bank online at home. I just take a picture of my check. You can probably do the same sort of thing. This is the way it works now. But experts tell us that our credit cards are going the way of the 8-track stereo. They're too expensive to manufacture. They're too expensive to keep track of, to maintain. The electronic chips that are embedded in those cards are too easily read by people just passing by with the right technology. And there's new technology that's already been developed that scans things up close and personal. And in the future, we're going to be doing that on our smartphone. There'll be no more credit cards to monitor, to secure, to maintain. You won't have to do all the things you're doing now with credit cards. But all this lends itself, I should say, to what Edison is talking about and extrapolating out forward with the Bible 2,000 years ago. We call these things signs of the times, and they are a little bit scary. Now, Edison does not tell us what's going to happen on October 7th. He just says things are going to change. Well, there are a number of things that have already